All right, if you're a parent, you've probably shelled out some big bucks over the years for piano lessons, soccer, you name it. But what do you say when your kids come home and say they want to quit? Here to weigh in on that hot topic and some other family issues is Carol Sullivan, a former newscaster and mom of 3, Rachel Campos Duffy, mother of 7, new baby girl, and spokesperson for the LIBRE initiative. And Renee Seiler has 2 children, is the founder of GoodEnoughMother.com. Good morning, ladies.
Hi, Natalie.
All right, I know you've all been there because it happens all the time when the kids come home and say, I want to quit, I hate baseball, I don't want to go to soccer anymore. And there was an article in Parents Magazine, talks about the signs to look for when kids want to drop out, but also when you should maybe perhaps let them pull the plug. All right, how do you ladies feel about this?
I think if there's money on the table, if you spend money, then you're going to stick it out.
You're not getting out of the piano
No, but I mean,
lessons.
honestly, like in our house, we were like, you need to make a decision. And if we're going to spend money on this, you need to be sure this is what you want to do. But of course, if they're miserable, and they're really, really horribly miserable, then you can talk about it.
You can avoid the trap, too, if you just look for something that doesn't have a long commitment. If it's a new activity like swim team, we tried it out for 2 weeks just to try it out. Okay. It saved us a whole summer of swim meets because they were like, no, we're out.
And we set parameters to it. So we said, we had a kid that came home first day, said, I don't want to do this anymore. And we said, you have to stick it out for 2 weeks because we don't want to create a habit of quitting just because something's hard. But also, I said, you have to call the coach and tell him because I wanted him to take personal responsibility for that decision. And what happened was, after the 2-week period, he decided to stay in. So,
and I always feel that is the case. If they just stick it out a little bit longer, sometimes it's maybe it's the fear or they're not good enough. So, you know, I think if you just let them make sure they really know what it is they're getting into and what they want. But all right, that's a good one. Okay, let's move on. Top mom stresses and how to relieve them. This is according to a national survey conducted by Family Circle magazine. And here's what they came up with. The top 3 mom stressors are managing finances, thinking about their kids' future, and keeping on top of housework. So do you all agree? Rachel, you have 7 kids.
I'll tell you,
Just let that go. Rachel has a newborn, too.
I have 7 kids and newborn. I think my husband would like it if my main stressor was finances, but it's not. It's household chores. And with 7 kids, I needed to be organized, and it is just very hard to stay on top of it, but and that is my big stress factor.
But I think that sometimes it's okay to let stuff go. It's all right to go to bed with a dish in the sink. It's all right to go to bed with a sink full of dishes.
See, I can't.
It's never okay to go to bed with a sink full of dishes. Never.
My husband.
Because guess what? They'll be there tomorrow and the day after and the day after. It's really not that big a deal.
Okay, we'll do the party at my house.
So they say that de-stressors are actually some top de-stressors we think are going to work for us: exercise, school vacations, sex. These are things that actually stress us out more because you have to exercise.
Natalie, sleep is the new sex.
Yeah, sleep. It's a 4-letter word.
And I thought sex was exercise. So aren't you like killing 2 birds with 1 stone here?
I'll tell you what is a top stressor in my house, and that's making home-cooked meals and dinner time. And it turns out Washington Post analyzed just how important it is a home-cooked meal is for a family. Yeah, sure, you gather your brood around, and it's a great way to kind of catch up on everybody's day, but at the same time, how much stress does it add to your life, Carol?
It is totally stressful, but at the same time, I can't wrap my head around how women or men or anyone in life doesn't cook.
I don't cook.
We have to eat.
I know, but I'm married to a person who cooks. But here's the problem.
You have to be a chef. I'm saying assemble food. Like you could cut cheese, salami, bread, and fruit.
The whole issue about this was about a home-cooked meal. Women were internalizing this as the hallmark for being a good mother, was a home-cooked meal. And I'm here to just say that's not true. You can raise a good, decent human being without ever making a pot roast.
If it's going to make you a crabby mom, then by all means pop the frozen pizza in the oven. But try, I think, to take personal responsibility again for feeding your family.
Well, you can feed them turkey sandwiches.
We're still going to de-stress and stress here, but Carol, Rachel, Renee, sorry, ladies, we got to go.